in. Right now, I'm at the headquarters, and I wanted to talk to you about creating a product, starting a business, and buying some land. I want to talk to you about something that I kind of woke up with it on my mind. And at the end of this video, I'm going to place a link in the description to give you an idea of what I'm actually talking about. Give me a second here. I need to fix this real quick. All right, my bad. So I think it's important that we have certain steps that we have to take. And sometimes what we'll do is we'll try to start from the end or in the air, so to speak, and build the tower or our empower from the air to the ground. Sometimes people try to start in the middle, go down to the ground. But the reality of it, you have to start in the field. You have to start in the field. Good rising, brother, good rising. You have to start in the field. And I want to quote a proverb to you that had always been with me. I read this, I studied this when I was incarcerated. And it was one of those proverbs where it sounded good to me. I liked it the way it sounded, but to be honest, it was years later, up on my release, is when I really understood. And lately, it has been really like coming back to surface, reminding me, how certain things they say, if you plant a seed, it'll remind you, or a child will come back, to that idea. And the proverb it stated that, I'm going to paraphrase it. It said, prepare thy work without, make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thy house. There's 3 different steps in this proverb. This is actually Solomon writing, giving us, sharing his wisdom. He was one of the richest kings ever lived, wisest person, on the face of this earth. And that's a good one. And one of the things that he did was he observed everything. He watched people. It tells a lot of story on how he used his discernment and how he asked God for wisdom, And when you do your history on that, it kind of makes you think why he wrote this like the way he did, because it was an experience. It was something that he's seen, that you have to start from the foundation. Like, everything is built from the roots. The roots have to be strong. The roots have to be grounded. The foundation of most buildings that have to be, if it's going to be so high up, it got to be so, got to be so low in the ground to have a good foundation. You know what I mean? But a lot of times we try to start our independence off, or we try to start it off from the wrong aspects. We think we're trying to start certain things off from the ground. But the reality of it, we're really trying to start it from the air. And it doesn't work like that. And I'm going to say something, because this is just things that I've experienced personally, that you have to prepare thy work without, meaning you have to plan what you want to do. You have to create your product. You have to create what's going to help you take care of yourself. You have to have the idea to say, okay, this is the direction I'm going. And you got to stand on something, And once you stand on that, then you prepare the work in the field. Like, you got to do what needs to be done before you can actually get everything else to the next stage, which is the business. And that's why I said, once you come up with the idea, like, most businesses don't start until the ideal is created and conceived. So you have to have this ideal or this product that you designed that's going to kick off the business. But why would the business jump up if it has nothing to provide? You see what I'm saying? So what makes the business valuable is what you created in your downtime. You know what I mean? And and then it says something valuable, man, that we can't miss out on. It says, afterwards build our house. We got to own land. See, I realized something that was very important. Yes, yes, yes. Keep up with that, man. That's very important, man. We got to get products. We got to get land. And I'm gonna give it to you why it's very, very important. On the last end of that proverb, it says, and afterwards I built our house. Build our house. That means we're gonna have to own some land. See, once you get the product and you get the business and you make a little money, you're gonna have to own where you build your house at, meaning your business. You're gonna have to own it completely, because that's how the enemy, that's how someone can come and tell you what to do if you don't own where you build your house, where you build your business. You see what I'm saying? And that can make it a problem for you, because you'll constantly have to relocate, lose money there or here. Or, you know, if they decided to jump up on some numbers, what can you do? You have to go with the flow. Or you can own it and just pay the taxes on the land, which is very, very, very affordable. You know what I mean? And you can do what you want to do. But it's very important that we don't get comfortable creating, like, for years now, we've been creating other people's wealth. And I'm not knocking those who want to be in a nice shopping center that's owned by someone and they got their little boutique in there or a store or whatever. I'm not knocking that, don't get me wrong. But I'm saying, if you're going to own real wealth, you want to have the complex and have people written out of your situation, you know, or you want to have your store on your own piece of land. You see what I'm saying? Because that way you can really control how you live, how you're making your money. You know, don't nobody have no strings attached to you can dangle over your head to make you move like they want you to move, you know. So I think that is very important, man, because I have faced situations where it has led me to the point now where I know without a shadow or a doubt I had to own some land. Now, I own some property now, but the property isn't commercial property and I can't use it for business, and it's in an area where I don't want to stay at. Now I also have an opportunity in Georgia. That's why I'm going to Georgia to try it out and try to obtain, own the land I make money at. Now I got some land there that I actually own with my aunt that I'm not worried about my living conditions. You see what I'm saying? But I got to own the land that I'm making my money, because that's how I'm going to maintain my living conditions, and that's how I'm going to feed my family, you know. We can start off renting. It's fine. And see, this is the concept. I say this. You want to rent. I would rather rent where I lay my head and own how I make my money. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather rent where I stay at and own everything else, own my business, own all of that. You see what I'm saying? I own all of that. I think that's important. If I own that business land, that land, because that's how I'm being able to provide an income and take care of my family. You can find a nice luxurious place to rent easy. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't own somewhere to lay our head. I'm not knocking that. But I'm saying today, the reality of it, we got to own our business first. Point blank, period. We got to own how we make money, man. Everything else is a liability, brothers, sisters. Everything else is a liability. Like, just sit down and really, really think about it. Everything else is a liability. We have to own how we make our money. You see what I'm saying? If you own how you make your money, rent where you lay your head. They can't control you, because most times the renters, the people that want you to rent from them, they need your income and they want your credit to be good or whatever, but you don't see a landlord knocking off a good renter person that take care of his property. Nah, they gonna take care of you because you taking care of them. Think about that. But we'll be in certain situations with a landlord to make you feel like you owe them all the time. You always oppressed. But nah, that's not the situation, because the reality is you feeding him. So why are you feeling stepped on or belittled, so to speak? So I wanted to say that proverb, man, because I think that is very, salute to everybody checking in. I appreciate everybody checking in this morning. I know y'all getting ready for work or business or getting yourself together. So I appreciate for those who checking in with me. Like I said, I just wanted to talk to you about that because it's important that we create a product, that we create and own the business, and that we get the land, that we buy it, that we actually purchase it and own it. Because I've been facing situations, man, where no matter what direction I'm going, I'm always getting some type of hand or stop. And now it's all on the land situation, having the complete capital. Now it's a cool thing, because the cool thing with land, now you can come up with enough money to actually purchase it without actually completely buying it and still controlling it. You see what I'm saying? So you can even do that, and that's like renting it until you own it, but you still own it. You see what I'm saying? But me personally, I feel if you have the capital, you own it when you can cash it out. It's yours. 100,000 is mine, unless it's a big $1 million product, property or whatever. 20,000, 30,000, 10,000, 15, whatever, a little small part. Own it. You know what I mean? Because we got to have something that we just own, paying taxes of. That way, can't nobody control us. Like, I can't tell y'all the oppressive situations I have been finding myself in here lately. Literally, when I put everything in a nutshell, ownership. When I was in Phoenix, I was doing certain things and I had to maintain, but I was figuring out getting my capital up to own, and then I could have, but then I had to come here to try to figure out things. I uprooted to figure out things for my son, and, it is what it is. And I come here, and now I'm seeing the same thing I was seeing there, that, in order for me to really, really prosper, I can own the product. I can have a product and maintain, but you got to own the land. Like, that's just what it is. And if you think about America, what did they come over here and do? They took the land. Think about it now. We just gonna be realistic. They took the land. That's why the land is so important. That's why they tax you. That's why they owe you, because the land is the deed. They can make money off of that. That's ownership. That's why it's so important. You see certain people own their land. They said, beware, don't come over here. No trespassing at all. You know what I'm saying? And they can tell it to the police too. Unless you got a warrant, nah, you ain't allowed on this property. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? You got the right to do that when you own it. But here lately, I've literally been experiencing it. And that's why I wanted to quote that proverb, because it says, prepare thy work without, to make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thy house. I prepared my work, and that's what I've been thinking. I've been making products. Y'all been seeing me. I got all types of different products, products. I'm making products. I created the work, I created the business, but now I'm at the final stage. The land. I got to own the land. That's where I'm at, y'all. Like, I got to be honest with you. That's where I'm at. I got to own the land where I do business, because I'm always seeing hindrances on me taking my business to a next level because of the lack of that. And now I'm getting it. I tried to do other things. I was situating things in my life to try to get over the hump, you know what I mean? And then I realized that what it all comes down to. See, we don't want to face the truth about certain things. But I'm going to tell you something that I realized, and I like to say this because I want to shine a light on the truth. See, being prejudiced, a person being prejudiced is an opinion, You can be prejudiced, and you can be prejudiced against your own people, your family members, your kids. You can be prejudiced against the second child in favor of the first child. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to racism, see, racism is different. racism is powerful. It can control things. It can do things that completely make you feel vulnerable or powerless, so to speak, because racism is a display of power. You know, racism can genocide. It can completely destroy another race of people because it's powerful enough. You know, it can make you make moves you don't want to make. You know, so we don't want to get that misunderstood. I think it's very important that we understand the two, because a lot of people that we tend to call racist are not racist. They're just prejudiced, you know, really. But the ones that are really racist, you don't see them every day. See them the ones that you don't encounter all the time. They're not the ones you see at the grocery store, at Walmart. They're not the ones you see all the time in the streets, you know. Those are not the ones you see every day. These are ones that's really controlling the food, the water, the clothes, you know, the real commerce of the land. Like what's going on in Flint with them people now getting charged. You know, they controlling things that made a certain community have a certain water situation. You know, that's racism, man. When you can control that, when you can make sure this group of people is slow, feeding them, you know, keeping them slow, putting a product in their environment to make sure that they can't succeed. That's racism. You know what I mean? But just talking or calling someone a N word or calling someone, you know, a name that they feel is degrading to their race, you know, that can be just prejudice. But if I do something to you and keep you from maintaining, if I can keep you from prospering, if I can kill your seed, keep your generation from developing and getting wealth, that's racism, man. And that's what I don't like. Like that's what I see now. Like you see it more once you become more conscious. And the people that's in the system, they don't get it. You know, they don't understand. You know, and the crazy thing about most most white people I've talked to, they are naive to the full fact of it. They don't really get it because they feel like, you know, it's, I don't know, until they really, really see it. Now I got some that see it, they be like, damn, Joe, I get it, man. Yeah, damn. You know, when they really see it, they like, I was naive. And then they really get, and then you start paying attention to certain things and you're like, man, this stuff is rigged. How can you win if it was prepared and predestined that you lose? Like every loan you get, it's made that they charge us more. I talked to some loan officers one time. This is a black lady. She said she'd probably been, you know, doing real estate for 18 years, I think she said. And I asked her a question. I said, you know, all these years of doing contracts, have you ever noticed the difference between a white contract and a black contract? And she instantly said, yes, I did. And I was like, what's the difference? It's always higher. I said, what do you mean? Every black contract is always higher. The percentages, the banks make us charge them always. And I said, how do you feel about it? And she was like, it's messed up. But she's still eating off of that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes a person can know something is morally wrong, but to them it's business. That's how they live. They say, well, it's morally wrong, but I didn't set this in motion. But now you know about it. And when you know about it and you still participate, like if I did something to you, offended you, and I didn't know. And then if I found out that I hurt you and I come to you, hey, apologize, I correct that situation, then I can fix it. But if I continue, see, now I'm playing a part of it. Now I'm a part of the problem. So I might as well be doing it to you myself. I didn't want to be a part of that. And that's what I told her. I said, I don't want to be a part of a system that make me belittle, degrade, take advantage of my people for some money. I don't want to be in a situation where I had to step on someone, even if they don't know I'm stepping on them, so I can make some money. I got a cousin that did cars. He sold car dealerships. I mean, he was working for car dealerships, and he always told me how them different guys up there would sell, they even family out. He told me a situation where he watched a guy put his own daughter, $4,000 upside down in a vehicle just so he can get the, I think, $2,000 deal on the deal, from him getting the sale. He put his daughter in a trick bag just so he could get that bonus. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to do that, man. But people do that all the time. And once I seen that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create some products. I'm gonna I'm gonna utilize my welding and fabrication to build things. But to not just build things that's luxury. I want to build things that are in need, that can actually help someone grow, take their life to a different level, open up their minds. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do something that can really provide a income and help them. People can grow from it. And I know it's possible. Now, I want to make money. I want to live nice. I want to make sure my kids got an inheritance. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want to make sure you win too. I want to make sure whatever I'm selling you is helping you. Whatever I'm giving you is taking you somewhere. I'm not like, I'm not like one of those late night specials where they're trying to promote and just sell your products. You should buy this. This is the best one. We only got a limited discount. There's so many. You should try it on. Watch her. Look at how she do it. I'm not trying to do all that. I want you to get what you need because it's what you need. I want to present it so people will know that it exists, because a lot of people don't know want a good product, but if they don't know it exists, then how can they find it to get the good product? But I think that it's very important that we create us a product, then create the business, buy the land, own everything. If we are a threefold being, that means mind, body, and soul, or mind, body, and spirit, then that's how we should network, like a business, like an individual, like a product. You see that? Like, we should network threefold, in my personal opinion, because you should be able to multitask like that, because you multitasking in a threefold way just shows your unity within yourself, because we can be doing something and most of the time you don't know you're breathing, you don't know your muscles are doing certain things, because everything is in line, it's natural, it's flowing right. And I think that's what we have to be. We have to be in a position where we're flowing right. And I think that's where it starts at, creating products over talent. And that's why I say that, because talent can still make you a slave. Talent can still have you oppressing your people. You could be talented and they could be using you as a puppet. Hey, we're gonna give you this money, but you need to tell them to go over here and do this. And then you hear them up there, yeah, I think we all need to do this. And then when they find out was wrong, but this is what I had to do. It was my job. Man, don't you hate when somebody do something evil to a person or to a race or to their own people, and they scream something like, but it was my job. Man, ain't that something? But it was my job. I'm not going to do nothing to you because it was my job. I'm not going to oppress you, step on you, belittle you, and none of that, and say, oh, it was my job. I had to do this. No, I didn't have to do that. This environment here in Oklahoma City, I'm going to be honest with you, this has been a very valuable pivot point in my life, because not only have the doors open in different angles, not here, but doors has opened since I've been here. Just not around here too much, so to speak. But it showed me how people truly are. This election showed me how people truly are. Like, ever since it was up, some of the conversations you hear from people that you be like, wow, in gas stations. So that, like, a lot of people can tell you. I haven't even heard people tell you. I went to a gas station the other day, and the lady said that she was like, I appreciate you from coming in here all the time. And I always go in there and speak to him. I thought, I don't got no problems. She said, I just want to let you know I'm not one of them, I ain't one of them kind. And I'm like, what you mean? I know she's a white lady. She's like, I'm not like that. Because I've been seeing it. She said, I've been seeing it and noticing here lately. It didn't got a little bad. She telling me the racism that got bad and letting me know, hey, I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking to myself, if even those that not a part of it can see that it's getting a little bit bolder now, then it's getting a little bit where people are getting a little bit out of control. And even with business, they fire people. I had a friend I talked to the other day in Phoenix. He said he lost some good friends he'd been doing business with for years. Once the election kicked off, and he was like, before it got finalized, it started, and then once it got finalized, it's just what it was. He was like, no more answers. People just stop, and it's kind of sad. He was like, it kind of hurt him because he thought these people he used to go over their house and have drinks with and sit down and talk to, and now they don't even answer the phone. You know what I mean? They don't even. He was like, they got flags in the yard now. I never seen the rebel flags in their yard or the Trump flag. I never even seen they'll represent that what they do, but now it's more of a overbearing situation. Like, don't come over here. And he was like, man, it's messed up. He was like, I'm still getting business, but I've lost a lot of business too. And this is a partner of mine, like I say, in Phoenix. So, man, like I say, that part of it is everywhere. The racism is everywhere. The prejudice is everywhere. But we can find peace and tranquility um, in ownership. You know, even if you're in the midst, sometimes, you know how they say you can be in the midst of the storm and have peace. God will give you peace in the midst of the storm. But we have to prepare ourselves properly. And that's why I say proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Very, very important. Because even now, I got my container, I got a product, got the business, got the container, got the physical real estate, but I don't have the land. So I'm renting the land now from a guy, a decent price, but I'm still not fully controlled of what I can do. You see what I'm saying? So I'm still not in control. And if something come up, I'm gonna have to go with the flow or you see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm tired of because, I even received a call yesterday and I'm not even gonna get into this call that I got yesterday, but today sometime I'm gonna do a video and show it to you. And once I do this video and I show you what I got to do, most of those who are tuned in or who have listened to this get why I say that we really got to own land. We really have to have those 3 steps in line because it's very, very, very essential to our development. And, if you have to relocate, whatever we have to do to find our peace, to find our growth, to get in a position where we could actually be better, that we can actually form a team, whatever you have to do that. You know what I mean? I remember a guy saying one time that sometimes you can be headed in a direction and you don't know that it's someone else headed in that same direction. And on that odyssey, on that journey, you end up meeting up with them and they say, hey, where you going? I'm going there too. Oh, okay, I'm gonna ride with, I can help you out. We can fight off some of this stuff that's coming up. Now you build a team, you might run across someone else. If you see these survival shows, how they do it, they pick up a team and now they got a whole group. That's just how life is, man. And it's like that for those who pursue what they really want to do, So that's why I just want to come to you this morning, man. I think it's important. I think it's important for me to say it to myself and to speak it, to my family that we got to create a product or a service, the business on the land, because if we don't, we're not going to experience true freedom. You're still gonna have the racism, still gonna have the prejudice, but you have the freedom. You know what I mean? And there is nothing like having true freedom. Me being incarcerated, doing 10 years incarcerated, and being out here, I understand that freedom isn't just being free. Freedom is ownership, owning not only who you are, but owning how you make money, owning where you lay your head, like it can be the completely ownership freedom. And financial freedom gives you that in America. That's why the America, I get it, the home of the free, the land of the brave. It don't necessarily mean you uh, free, but you can be free financially. See, that's what it's about here. It's about commerce, it's about money. And some people say, well, I don't want to be about this, but you're going to have to pick a side. You got people now going out buying people's liens on their houses through taxes places that they got to pay. And some people are winning houses for $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 because the people couldn't pay the taxes and they got to get kicked out. And that person just got that house. It's a dirty game, but it is what it is. Somebody got to do it. So the guy was like, shoot, if you don't go up there and check out, see who haven't paid it and get some ownership, somebody gonna do it. Man, people are thinking about, sometimes people think that everybody thinks about helping someone. I heard a guy here talking about helping the homeless. That's what he stated. But the reality of it all, he was thinking about ways to get rich quick. Because once you think about it, when you put the numbers together, he was trying to sell these and get these investors in and act like he was a humanitarian. But the reality of it, I was thinking like, yeah, this dude all about the money. He gonna get some homeless people off, but he gonna get a lot of government money. That wasn't his true motive. And it is what it is because, like I say, America been in business for 245 years this year. 245 years. And the whole time it's been in business, operated has been biased, has been racist, it has been prejudice, it has murdered, it has lied, it has stole, and done all those things. But it has maintained business. So, just because a person maintains a business doesn't mean their business has been maintained legit. Sometimes just helping this person out, rubbing that shoulder, doing them a favor. They did me a favor. You know what I mean? Okay, I do this time. It is what it is. But we got to own something, man. Especially my people. Like, we got to get from being caught up in the bling, in the drip. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not knocking that, but own everything before you even get that. I would rather look like a bum. You know what we need? We need old man Sam Walton from Walmart, from Arkansas. We need his concept on things. This guy, till he died when he was working, he went up there with his overalls or his truck, old pickup truck, old Ford. He kept it simple. Millionaire. But he kept it simple. He could have went and got all that. But he stayed by his business. Now, his overalls was nice. He had nice boots. He liked nice stuff, but he kept it simple. He can do anything he want to do at any given time. That's how I want to be. I didn't have to blink like believe me. When we coming from where we're from, especially, Black Native Americans, we ain't had nothing. So once we get a little something, we want to show it off a little bit. We want the next person to know. We want so-and-so that didn't let us survive or said we couldn't do it. We want the teacher to know I made it. We want so-and-so the girl that wouldn't look at us. Hey, look at me now. That's what we do. You know what I mean? I don't knock it. I've been there. You know what I mean? I think it's the mentality. But once we get conscious and we grow up, when they say when I was a child, I did childish things. But once I became a man, I put those things away. But you see, it wasn't no age on that because everybody become a man at different times. I told my daughter, she was talking to me on our visit. We was driving back to Feniks. I was picking her up from Arkansas, and we was talking about something. She asked me something. I can't remember how the question went, but I told her. She pretty much asked me when I become a man, and I said, you know what? If I put an age on it, because if you thinking, oh, that, when you turn 20, I'm like, nah, I came a man. Fully grown man. I was 37. 37, 38 is when I'm going to literally say I was grown. I accepted life, who I was, my past, where I was going, what is happening, what's going on. and I seen life for what it was. And sometimes it's not a pretty sight. Sometimes it break you down. You're like, dang, this what it is. But this what it is. You know what I mean? But I woke up and I learned a lot from what I experienced. You know what I mean? And I had to look at myself like, you know what? This is who I want to be. I realized that it was all up to me. My mom had passed, and honestly, like I say, that had just hit me real hard because my mom died in 2012 in October. And literally, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was still carrying my mom with me. Like it was a few years. It was to 2017. I'm gonna say 5 years later, and then I finally, I'm gonna say, in my personal opinion, buried my mom. She was still alive. I had a lot of ill will towards people in the way I lost my mom, and I took it with me, and I can say at 37 and knocking on 38 is when I let it go, and I just realized that we are in control of our destiny. You can cry over sport milk, or you can get up and make you another glass, you know, and we can whine or wallow in a situation, and it doesn't mean that you don't have a situation to do that in, because ain't nothing wrong with responding to pain, to hurt, to loss, to betrayal, but it's something wrong when you stay there and you allow that to affect your life, to change you, to really put you in a whole nother space in your mind. So I think it's important that we really shine light on where we want to go. So just think about that, man, because freedom is ownership. Freedom is forgiving yourself and knowing who you are. Like there's nothing more greater to just be at peace with you. Like I know who I am. I don't have to. I can be around anyone and not feel intimidated by their presence or by their aura, because I have one too. You know, everyone is in a position. Some people are in a position because someone else put them there, and someone is in a position because they put themselves there. And someone is in that position because they was asked to be. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine on the East Coast, and I was telling her about how it's better to be called to take a seat at the table than to just walk up to the table and be asked to be dismissed from the table. You don't belong here. You know what I mean? Think about that. So sometimes people will be a little prideful and they'll think that they deserve this and deserve that, and then they'll get their foot in their mouth, or they'll show that life ain't what they thought it was. The reality of things, being naive, thinking you're just gonna go up in here and do it this way. Everybody had a struggle. Everybody got a story. You see what I'm saying? Everybody got a process. You don't know how you're gonna get to that next level. You don't know who you're gonna meet, because one thing that I learned in life is all about the relationships. You know, relationships you build. Money's valuable, but the relationships you build gonna help you gain your financial independence. Gonna help you get the land, help you do the products. It's about the relationships, and it's gonna be so funny the way they come together and how they're formed. And so it's good to be transparent. It's good to be genuine about what you do, because that energy, that character doesn't lie. One thing before I let y'all go, one of my followers from Alabama, shout out to Xavier, he told me something that stuck with me. It's been stuck with me since the day he told me. And I remember we had a conversation over the phone one day when we, was first getting acquainted. And he said, man, one reason that I really was prone to, reach out to you and make an investment with what you got going on, and support your movement, because I was watching you, bro. I've been watching you for over a year. He said, and I wanted to see was you consistent. And he was like, you're one of the most consistent people I didn't know. I know sometimes I'll be like, man, how do we do it? But it let me know that the whole time I was going through this process, I was feeling like I wasn't doing nothing. Like literally, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I'm just dropping these stuff. I'm gonna quit. I'm just doing something. I'm just doing it, but the numbers ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody messing with me. You know what I mean? And I just kept doing it. But some say, do it anyway, Joe. Drop them anyway. Whatever's on your mind, show it anyway. And that's how I met him. And he was like, I've seen some people that get to a certain situation and they'll switch up on their message. They're like, you sticking to the script, you know what I mean? So it encouraged me even more to be organic and stick to the script, because that's how I met some of the best relationships and friends and people that I really want to network with, because I was sticking it to the script. Like, they seen the grind. And you're gonna have some people that want to be a part of you or what you do because of your grind, but they just want to tap in and be a part of it. Like, they ain't paying homage. Like, even I'm gonna pay homage to those who came before me. I like to, majority of all the relationships, honestly, I had built that's been good relationships. Either I spent money with them or vice versa. But I don't mind going to a brother's product service business and seeing he got something that might help me, and say, hey, I want to spend some money with you first. So what about this? How much? Let me buy this. Let me get this. And after I shop with them, build a relationship, and I say, hey, this is what I got going. You think you want to network with me? I didn't did that a lot, and that works out more because a person sees that I'm investing in them. I got something to them. Like, man, you doing that? I can do that. You know. So I just think it's something that we overshadow sometimes on how we can network with people and the power of relationships. But don't belittle relationships, because you'll be surprised. But before I let you go, just wanted to say, create you a product, start you a business, buy you some land. I'm in that last stage with getting that land, you know what I mean? Getting that land to own this business, to actually get things off the ground. I got to get there because I'm seeing that the powers that be is not going to allow me to do the things that I need to do without it. And so I got to make it happen. So y'all gonna see it soon. We're gonna make something happen. But then again, like I said, I got other ventures that I'm working on, ideas. But most definitely, as far as me personally, I will own, I would network and still own a business, because I think it's very important that we multitask, that we create our independence this year, 2021. Like, we see it's all about the independent. We see businesses already talking, shutting down and closing, losing employees, cutting it down because they mad that they got to go up on their minimum wage. They've been getting you the whole time. A lot of places been killing you. They making a killing. Now they got to pay you what you justly do, and they want to say it ain't fair. It's the business, family. Like, America's all about the money, man. So you're gonna have to be about the money if you're gonna survive here. You're gonna have to keep your morals, keep your spirit intact, but you're gonna have to think business, and you're gonna have to realize that it takes money to make money, or it takes time to make money. So just figure out what side you want to be on. But if you're thinking ownership, if you're thinking real, true freedom, some financial wealth, some real financial wealth, you got to have a business. You got to have a product, service that you provide, that you own. And it's most definitely be a plus if you can have it on the shelf. And it's most definitely be an extra plus if not only you have it on their shelf, you have your own physical location where people can come and visit your spot. So it's see, Walmart, to me, I think it's great because they got them everywhere. And it makes it even greater because they get other people products. And a lot of times that's what you see. Their products, other people products everywhere on their shelves in their stores. But not only, to me personally, what makes it so strong, if I got it in their store, in their location, and then I got my own location where I originated this product, people will want to come there just to check it out like a museum, because they know you started this and they shop over here. Now they in your city and you got this deal built. They want to come and shop at the store. See you take a couple pictures at the store. Say they came through. You know, don't deny a person that opportunity, and even yourself the opportunity to be able to provide something like that. But we got to start from somewhere. So stop thinking that you can't do something. Stop saying you can't. Just figure out how can you. A door closed, okay, that's fine. We might have to go through a window. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the situation is, we're gonna figure out our independence. We're gonna build our independence this year. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have to use those steps. Creating a product, starting a business, buying some land, man, because if we don't, the system is always gonna control us. Hold on, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Enjoy y'all day.